Hey, Tiny T here. Just want to show you I'm working on the sheetrock now, and I got this side up, and I want to show you a little trick here what I do when I'm working alone, because you have to learn a lot of tricks sometimes, because when you hang sheetrock you want to put the top piece in first because you don't want it resting on the floor, and usually it's just a little bit over 8 foot the distance down, so you'll have maybe half an inch or so at the bottom when all's said and done. So you can see that's what I ended up with right down there, a little crack at the bottom. And what I did is I put this sheet up on here first, but when you're working alone, you don't have the luxury of having somebody help you, and unless you rent a sheetrock lift or something like that, you need to find some other way to do it. What I do is I take a board, this straight piece of scrap here, and I screw it onto the studs, and I measure down 48 inches, and I screw that on there. And I go 48 1/8 inches just to give it just a little bit of play, because sometimes things ain't exactly square, and I've been real good when I go 48 1/8. It sits up in there, and you can see there's very little room up there, and that can all be taped up when I get ready to do the plastering. So anyway, that's a neat little trick, and I always measure for my holes and stuff like that. And you can see there's one there where I had a wire come through, and I was able to lean that out and reach back behind there and feed that through without any trouble, or you even reach in through that hole and grab a hold if you twist your wires together and get them through that way. But anyway, that's a neat little trick here for working alone. Put a board there and just screw it in. I use screws so I can unscrew it and reuse the same board. So anyway, that's just a little trick here hanging sheetrock. I did some remodeling down at our other house and used that trick for pretty much all of it. When I did the ceiling, I rented a sheetrock lift, and that allowed me to put it up on the ceiling in place. You can also use that here on the walls, but this is kind of a small bathroom, hard to work in that way, so this way it works pretty good when you're by yourself and don't have that extra set of hands to help you hold it up there. And even if you do have an extra set of hands, it's a lot easier to put it up there and rest it on a piece of wood instead of trying to hold it in place. So it does take a little bit longer. If you have 2 people and you're moving right along, it's probably easier just to shove it up there and put a couple screws in and move on to the next one. So anyway, I'm getting these I'll put a few more screws in this one just to hold it in place here, and then I'll be ready to do this bottom part here. And this one's going to take a little bit more time because I got a lot of water pipes to go around here, and I'll probably be turning the water off, cutting those off, and running them through the sheetrock that way. That one I can actually probably put a pretty big hole in because that'll be behind the sink place, but the one down here for the toilet, that one won't be quite as big, so I'll have to get that one cleaned up. Maybe I'll put a hole around that and put it in there. I haven't quite decided yet, but anyway, I'm probably going to quit for today and come back and hang later and hang the rest of that sheetrock on here. So I am going to finish this side here before I do this one. I got the pieces cut for that already, but I'm not going to put them in place till I have the back all on here. So got slowed down here by cutting out for electrical and cutting out for the water pipes down here. So anyway, it won't take too long, but you do have to do some measurement and figuring on there in order to get that. But anyway, the bathroom's coming along, and hopefully next time I'm up here I'll be able to either finish up the plastering. If my wife don't, she likes to do a little bit of that stuff, so maybe she'll well, no, she won't be able to until I get the rest of the sheetrock done. So scratch that. She might texture the ceiling, which she can do, and get that done. Although I think just a coat of paint on that would probably not be too bad. So anyway, Tiny T signing out. Y'all have a good day.